Hi guys, today in this lesson we're gonna talk about there are, and the difference between there is and it is, and some any. So we use there is and there are when something exists. So for example, if you have different furnitures in your room, it means that furnitures exist in your room, right? So this is what we're talking about. There is when we mean one thing. One thing means that singular form, right? So this is the form. There is, and then after we use a singular noun. For example, there is a TV in the living room. So a TV exists in the living room, yes, and a TV is in singular form because it's only one thing. And we have to use there is in this case. There are when we speak about several things. So if there are a lot of things, there are many things, we have to use there are. There are and then plural noun. For example, there are 3 t-shirts in the wardrobe. So t-shirts exist in the wardrobe. So, and there are not only just one t-shirt, there are 3 of them. So in plural form, we have to use there are. There is a mistake. Please don't use like this sentence. There is toys on the shelf. It's incorrect. So we have to say there are toys on the shelf. Yes, there are maybe 3 or 5 toys. I don't know, just in plural form. So you have to say there are, not there is. So this is the full form that you can use. There is, and short form there is. There are, short form there are. Okay, you have to use apostrophe. Well, let me talk about the negative form of there is and there are. Of course, in negative form, we have to use not. There is not and singular noun. For example, there is not a cup on the table. Or in short form, you can use this form. There isn't a cup on the table. Or there is not a cup on the table. Both of them are correct. So there are, we have to use not after and then plural noun. For example, there are not 3 t-shirts in the wardrobe. Or there aren't 3 t-shirts in the wardrobe. Okay? Let's talk about the question and short answer. Well, of there is and there are. In the question form, we have to replace, we have to change there and is. Yes, in positive or in negative sentence, we first in the first place we use there and then is or are. But in question form, in the first place we have to use is. Okay, is or are and then there. Like this: is there plus a singular noun and question mark. Is there a cup on the table? So how do we answer? Of course, short answer. Yes, there is. Or no, there isn't. Yes, because it's is there, we ask in singular form and we have to answer in singular form again. And in plural form, we have to ask, we have to make the question like, are there? Again, we change there and are and a plural noun. For example, are there 2 cups on the table? Yes, there are, or no, there aren't. There is a mistake again. So we don't say is an apple on the table. It's very like rude mistake. So we have to say, is there an apple on the table? Because an apple exists right on the table. So you have to use is there construction. Or we don't use like there are any hats on the shelf. Actually, it is plural. I mean, it is a positive sentence. It's not a question sentence, right? It's not question form. In the question form, you have to use this sentence. Are there any hats on the shelf? Well, what is the difference between there is and it is? So there is, for example, there is a lot of sugar in the tea. So it means that sugar exists in the tea, right? So it is too sweet. So it means that this tea, yeah. So what is the difference? There is when something exists. Yes, we have already said that something exists. We use there is construction or there are. Well, and then we talked about that sugar, that because sugar exists in the tea, yeah, it is when we describe things. When you describe something, you can use it is, not there is. So in this case, we say it is too sweet. So it here, it means that this tea, yes, because we are talking about the tea and we are describing the tea, not sugar. We are not describing sugar. We are describing tea, that it's too sweet, right? So this is the difference between there is and it is. So in this case, when something exists, we use there is. When we describe something, we have to use it is. There is a mistake again. You shouldn't say I have got a pet. There is very kind and friendly. It's a rude mistake again. You have to say I have got a pet. Dot, and then it is very kind and friendly, because we said that something belongs to you, and then you are describing, right? So you describe the pet that is very kind and so on. And then you shouldn't say like this, it is a blue skirt on the sofa. There is a blue skirt on the sofa, okay? Because blue skirt exists on the sofa. We are not describing. We are telling that something exists on the sofa. That's why we have to use there is construction. Okay, let me talk about the some and any. We use some and any when we speak about several things, but don't say how many. So we don't know the quantity, yes, how many or how much. So in this case, we use some and any. But when we use some, let's see, some we use in positive sentence. Please remember, in positive sentence, we use some. For example, there are some bananas on the table. So in this case, bananas are countable nouns and they are on the table, but we don't know how many bananas we have on the table, right? And in this case, we use some, not any, because it is positive sentence. Any we use in negative sentence and questions. So just remember, any we use negative and question, okay? So there aren't any bananas on the table. So we know that on the table we don't have any bananas. No, there aren't any bananas, right? So any negative sentence. Are there any bananas on the table? So it's a question, yes? So in this case, we use again any because it's a question form. So we are asking if there are any bananas on the table. So please just remember some for positive, any for negative, and question. I hope it was clear. So please just do these exercises and have practice more. And thank you for watching.